logical. Flawlessly logical.
I am honored.
Stan. She is yours. After a time, you may find that having is not so pleasing a thing after all as wanting. It is not logical, but it is often true.
He knows too much.
Most of your honeypots, maybe some that you dated, were a psychology graduate at some university, and this program allows them internship to get experience with manipulation and espionage. They like counseling, psychology, and social work, graduate students and recent graduates. There are a huge number of conventionally attractive, really pretty or considered handsome, open-minded, idealistic, and naive men and women in those programs. They have a deep understanding of human thoughts and emotions and how to manipulate them in both positive and negative ways. They usually owe a lot of money, and it takes a few years after graduation to get a license to practice legally. As a consequence, the only work they are qualified to do doesn't usually pay well, so they are poor for 2 to 5 years after graduation, and thus vulnerable to the appeal of easy money. They are usually sold on the idea that they are doing something noble. The truth is, a lot of them end up as escorts and prostitutes, having sex with whoever they are told to have sex with. Giving people sexual favors. In this interview, this woman, who legally works as a prostitute in a Nevada brothel, talks about how many counseling psychologists and social workers ended up working where she works. A lot of them practice witchcraft. A lot of them have real mental illness, but yet are in position to govern and are in charge of diagnosing an individual in which they do falsely. Your entire relationship can be them conducting a study on your mind as a science experiment project for their professor, who can be his or her handler. They look for people motivated by money, ideology, coercion, compromise, and ego. Those are the people who will put you at greater risk. Espionage organizations, some businesses, organized crime, and cults look for people with the same qualities when recruiting them. If there are no people who meet any of the criteria that makes them vulnerable to their appeal, they create those circumstances and set people up to be vulnerable, one of the roles of a honey trap. It's not just psychology and social work students either. I've seen them send all kinds of college students to me to act as a honey trap or to harass me. One of the more interesting ones was a beautiful married Christian woman who had recently graduated from a local seminary school. They will send male honey traps too in an attempt to see if that will work, or if they know you are a man who is into men. They recruit people from all walks of life. Once I figured out what they were doing, I stopped believing that the women showing interest in me were honestly interested in me, and I stopped allowing them into my life. My gang stalkers started sending gay and bisexual men, hoping that would work. It didn't, but they tried. They also sent women of a variety of types, hoping that would work too. I overheard one beautiful older woman they sent say that they were trying her because I was not going for younger women. I knew what she was doing, so it didn't matter either way, but that didn't work either. They will send men and women to honey trap women too. History is full of examples of male honey traps successfully infiltrating women's lives.
We need to talk.
What happened?
Someone's been interfering. This is the second time.